let's look at eliminating fractions in equations. I'm sure we can all agree that this type of representation in front of x makes it look a little bit more complicated. So how do we eliminate it? Well, we do that by using all the rules we've learned up until now. We can see there is a plus here, and these are the same terms, so we're allowed to add them. But before we add them, we have to find a lowest common denominator, because 4 and 10 are not alike. And remember, with plus, fraction plus, we have to have a common denominator. So our common denominator here, a number that both 4 and 10 can go into, would be 20. How do we get them to 20? Well, you know that by now. You know we have to multiply the denominator and the numerator by a factor to get it to look the same as the number you're trying to get to. And we're going to do that on the next line. So let us write out everything before we convert to denominators of 20s. Put everything as it was. Now we're going to multiply 4 and 10 and their numerators by factors to get them into the denominator of 20. So let's do 4 first. 4 will be multiplied by 5 to get to 20. And because we did it to the denominator, we're going to do it also to the numerator. And 10 will be multiplied by 2, and the same to its numerator. So let's simplify on the next line and see what we're left with. We are left with, for this one, 5 over 20x. And for the next one, you can already see it will be 2 over 20x. And then we write the rest of our equation in. Okay. Now we can see it's simple. We can easily solve because we have the same denominator. We've got 20 and 20, so our plus can legally be performed. So 5 over 20x plus 2 over 20x can be simplified to 7 over 20x, and let's put the rest of our equation in. Now we are left with, oh dear, it looks complicated, but it's actually not, because now this is something else you're going to also do, is to get rid of this piece of the x, because remember we have to isolate x. We want x standing on its own as an individual. We have to do the reciprocal. So what's the reciprocal of 7 over 20? It's the multiplication of 20 over 7. Okay. Now because we did that to this side, we have to also do it to that side. So let's go do that. There we go. Now you can see it's simple to get x isolated on this side. Why? Because we just have a cancellation process going on here, which leaves us only with x. So we're going to write that as just x on the next line. And then on the next line, we're going to solve 14 times 20 over 7. So we put 14 over 1 to make it a fraction. And we can now also cancel out. 7 can go into 14. So 7 will go into itself once and into 14 twice. Now we have 2 times 20 over 1. So the answer should be 40. Hey? X will be equal to 40. Right, so that was nice and easy. As I said to you before, always write out what you're doing and thinking so that your brain can follow the pattern you're busy thinking on. If you forget things, your brain will quickly give you the wrong answers. And write it out. Don't be afraid to use your page. Let's look at another one. Okay, so we have to first isolate x by removing that. Now we know already we remove that by using the reciprocal. So we're going to just rewrite it, and then we're going to put into different colors what we're planning on doing. We're planning on isolating x by multiplying it by its reciprocal on this side. And then we have to do it again on the other side. Right. Now we can see x can stand on its own because it's been cancelled out here. That went into that, and that went into that. And we are now left with 1 times 3 over 2 times 2, which is 3 over 4. Okay. That was those two over there multiplied together. Right. So that was nice and easy. Okay, so you know by now we need to isolate x by using the reciprocal and getting x to stand on its own. So let's go do that in a different color. We're going to multiply 1/3 x by 3 over 1 because that's the reciprocal of that. Okay, and we have to do it to the other side. So we're just going to say 5 times 3. It actually is also like 3 over 1 like that. But we know any whole number over 1 is just a whole number. Now we're going to see, okay, so we can cancel out. Those two are going to cancel out. So we're left with just x. And 5 times 3 is 15. See, it's just easy if you remember your rules. If you do not remember your rules, if you're new to my channel, go back to my fractions, and my fractions playlist will help you a lot, and also the beginning of algebra, where we learn to solve for equations. Over here, you should see a sign to press for subscribe. I'd be very grateful if you can press subscribe to my channel. That means I can help you and affect your life in a positive manner, like all the other students who follow me and become strong. I'm teaching all the rules of maths from grade 1 all the way up to senior school. With those rules, you succeed. Maths is like a board game. Apply the rules and you win. See you soon.